Yacht Club games. Have you heard of them? Maybe Shovel Knight rings a bell? Have you played Shovel Knight? You should go play Shovel Knight. Go check out Shovel Knight right now. I'll talk about that game in another video later down the road at some point. But today on the show, we're going to talk about a published game by Yacht Club Games. Another hit. Oh my goodness, it's gold. It's amazing. But it's going to kick you in the gut a lot, and it's very challenging. Really takes you back to the old school NES days, especially such as games like Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania, Shadow of the Ninja, Mega Man. Today on the show, we're going to talk about Cyber Shadow. You know, I kind of want to say Cyber Ninja because this is a ninja game after all, but the character's name is Shadow. Kind of reminds me of Shadow the Hedgehog a little bit, in a way. Yeah. But say you're a cybernetic ninja with a life essence inside of you. So grab yourself a beverage, sit down, relax. Let's talk about this new hit game that just came out recently, Cyber Shadow, produced by Yacht Club Games. Cyber Shadow is pretty much a ninja game. If you play Ninja Gaiden or any type of other ninja game, this one is going to definitely feel familiar to you. But it stands on its own merits, at least, and that's a great thing. Cyber Shadow is a challenging game. It is hard. It is going to frustrate you at times, but it is a good time and a good challenge. You basically start off with the bare minimums. You hack and slash your way through. You got very little health, very little special power. But eventually, as you progress through the game, you gain brand new abilities. You get a throwing star. You get, an upward slash with fire. You get a downward thrust with lightning. You get an ability to parry back bullets and lasers and such. You get another ability where you can just forward dash through enemies, and it's just an amazing time. And as you progress through each level, you gain new abilities. You become stronger. You find hidden health expansions and special power expansions as you travel through each level. There's 10 levels total. Chapters, I should say. They call them chapters. There's 10 chapters total, plus a final chapter as you go through the game in each level. You use your abilities, you use your skills to slash your way through enemies, to go through difficult obstacles. And you're going to die. You're going to die a lot in this game. And I mean, you're going to die a lot in this game. It is trial and error. It is figuring out the patterns of the enemies, figuring out the patterns of the bosses, figuring out the patterns of the level even, and how are you going to navigate these areas that you go through Mecha City. There's a lot of different places that you explore in Mecha City. There's even times you're going to be fighting on a train of some sort. You're going to be fighting on the docks. You're going to be fighting in water. You're going to be going through some sewer, I think a sewer area. Yeah. There's poo water in this. It's gross. Ugh. Terrible. But then you go through a robot factory. You're fighting against robots. You're fighting against all these enemies that are coming at you, and they're all machines. Every one of them are machines, even stupid bugs. There's bugs in there that bugs me. There's flies. And there's instant death spikes and things like that happens. There's some great boss fights that you encounter, and there's this antagonist that you come across a couple times. You even borrow another mech suit. You're a robot inside of a mech suit. There's a motorcycle area as well that you can go through. And it's just such a good time. But as I stated, you're going to die a lot. You've got to master each new ability and skill to progress through each level. All right, so what about lives? Don't worry about your lives actually in this game. You know why? Because there is no lives in this game. Basically, once you die, you just respawn back to your last checkpoint and you try again. It's endless. It's endless continues. It's endless lives. You get to retry as many times as your heart's desire until you just get frustrated, done, and come back later. And it's like, yeah, I did it kind of moments for me. That's how it was for me anyways. You just have to put the game down, pick it back up later, and then all of a sudden, oh look, I actually got through this with no problem. It's amazing when that happens. And so here we are today, Cyber Shadow. Have I beaten this game yet? No, I'm at the final boss actually. And man, let me tell you, the work is real in this game. The grind is so real in this game. You're grinding hack and slash and retrying levels over and over and over and over, finding new hidden areas, and your key continues to die and 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 die in this game. But eventually you finally make it to the next checkpoint. And it's a breath of fresh air. You can relax. Oh, finally, victory. But no, you got another challenge ahead of you. And sometimes these checkpoints are way too far in between. It's a marathon sometimes in some of these levels. And you're just hoping that and praying that you master this section until you get to another section. And then you got to remaster that one. And then you got to master another section. It's a madness thing. But thankfully, enemies do not respawn in this game. That's a relief. Unless you go back to the previous room, then yeah, they go and respawn. But you don't need to go back to the previous room. There's no need to, all right? There's no need to. And the cool thing about each checkpoint that you get, there is an opportunity to purchase different types of help, such as special power, instant refill. You can instantly refill your health if you're weak. And then there's the other one where you get another special weapon. Yeah, there's times they give you little special weapons. There's like a gun. There's one that actually refills your special power. And there's different types of things. You get a shield at one point, and they're very situational actually, because they're all situational things that help you progress through the area that you're in. But once you get hit 3 times, that thing's gone. All right, it's just absolutely just gone. I mean, there's no more of it, until you get back to the next checkpoint and you get a new ability. So there's a lot of different special abilities or special moves that you have to learn. A couple button combinations, which button combinations aren't difficult, but sometimes playing it is a chore at times when trying to learn it. So here's my recommendation if you're going to play Cyber Shadow. You play it on console, you play it with the Pro Controller, you use the D-pad. All right, don't try to play it in handheld mode unless you got one of these right here with the D-pad. You get a Joy-Con with the D-pad. It's a Legend of Zelda one. I think I reviewed that in a previous episode anyway. And it feels real good. It feels nice. So this is the only way you're going to play. I highly recommend it. All right, don't use the analog stick. Oh no. Unless you're a master of that, because if you want to do that dash maneuver through enemies, you want to double tap that. Sometimes it don't work. And then if you want to parry attacks back, you got to hit this and do your attack slash at the right moment, at the right time. If that don't work, you can get hit. Yeah, Cyber Shadow. It's a good time. But what's the story behind Cyber Shadow? I mean, again, you're a cybernetic ninja trying to fight through hordes of enemies. There's a doctor, there's a villain. He's trying to rescue his daughter at the same time. The daughter happens to be, I believe, the master of your ninja clan. It's a weird story. I don't understand it, to be quite honest, of what's going on in this story. But that's just it. The final boss is also gruesome too. And that's where I'm stuck at the moment with this game. I haven't actually beaten this yet, but I'm right at the final boss. And then let me tell you, it's a chore to get to the final boss. You have to climb a tower using every ounce of abilities that you have in your arsenal to climb this tower. You better get that downward thrust right so you can hop up to the next area. Otherwise, your timing's going to be bad and you're going to fall. But once you get to the top and you get to the final boss area, you got 3 forms. First of all, you got to fight your antagonist, number 1. Once you defeat him, then you get to the doctor himself, who's in this weird machine thing. All right, video's going to be here in the corner somewhere. And there's 2 forms of that. And I got to the second form of that, and I died, of course. I was so close. Very close to that. So Cyber Shadow. It's a good time. Very great game. Highly recommend playing it. But I recommend it to those who are very skilled in classic NES games, because it will give you a run for your money. That I promise you. The Yacht Club games, thank you guys. You guys are amazing, publishing out games like Shovel Knight and now Cyber Shadow. Excited to see what the future holds for Yacht Club games. That's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe and take care.